Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. All righty, here we go.
Okay, let me fire off the YouTube. So, okay, you're going live on the YouTube stream.
Cool.
YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube now.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're on everything plus now YouTube as
That's
well.
awesome.
Yeah,
So,
and it's
And we can talk about whatever we want.
Well,
Kinda.
Yeah, you're on YouTube, so
you can talk about whatever you want.
Perilous World Radio on YouTube, and for everybody listening anywhere, we are back on YouTube now. Yep. We have taken Perilous World Radio off of the FHU YouTube channel, and now it is solely Perilous World Radio.
Okay.
Thank you
that
for that
way,
update.
anything that we do here that's stupid somehow is not going to hurt the FHU channel. And
wonderful.
That's a good idea. That needs to be said a number of times. Very good. Okay.
All right.
Well,
okay.
Everything is live everywhere. So,
well, there you
We're
have
alive.
it.
They're alive. You're alive.
We're alive. Are you gonna be the clock while I sit back and relax?
Sure, I can do that.
Mike Jones, you ready?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Test 1, 2. Okay, let's rock and roll. Thank you, Mike Jones.
Yep.
Okay, Jan, what are you doing? You ready?
Ready.
Push the button over to
Ready to go.
there. All right, welcome to yet another edition of Perilous World Radio. Today, broadcasting to the world via lots of different ways. Let's see, starting with, we got to do this whole thing with Rumble because they were allowing freedom of speech. So Rumble is like the number one go-to place. And then X came along and decided that freedom of speech is good. So we're also broadcasting live video on both, and a video and audio for X, and then audio only on the Spaces on X. And now we're back on YouTube. So it's really strange. I know a lot of you heard this story. By the way, I'm Alan Masters. My wife, Jan Masters, with me here. That when people started talking about the dare I even say it, because now that we're on YouTube, the unmentionable jab. If you talked about anything that went against the narrative of the left, well, they took your channel down. And that's what they did to the Foundation of Human Understanding, FHU. They took our channel down with all 600 videos on it. So we tried for years, and were unsuccessful to get them to release it back. They said it went against company guidelines or whatever it was for YouTube. But one day it just appeared. We kept on trying, and we don't know that it was anything we said or did.
It was the Trump effect.
There you go. It was the ripple effect of freedom coming back to America, the freedom of speech, which is super important. But one thing we did do, for those who are listening, is we removed this radio show, this program, from the FHU channel, the Foundation of Human Understanding YouTube channel, so that in case we say something on this radio show that is offensive in some way to the YouTube gods, we won't lose our FHU channel again. Too many good things there from my father and his legacy of all his works. So we started a brand new channel just for Perilous World Radio. So if you look up Perilous World Radio on YouTube, you will find us there, and all of our shows starting last week. And we hope that you'll like and subscribe to any one of these channels, whatever you like best. But we also can see if you comment on YouTube. It'll show up on the screen in front of us. Same goes for X, same goes for Rumble, and we'll be able to see all the comments. So welcome aboard.
They'll all show up right here?
Yeah, see how that one has a little red, thing for YouTube?
Okay.
So, and then the X one will have a little X on it, and so we can see if anybody asks a question or wants a comment. But we do reach the entire world. How do you like that? We just got one here that says, hello, I'm interested in buying some books. I tried to check out, but it didn't work. Do you ship to the United Arab Emirates? Thank you. Well, whoever wrote that email, if you're listening, we'll check on that. Maybe we don't right now, but we should and will. So we'll answer that question maybe before the show is over. If Catherine is listening, maybe you can get a hold of Mike in the mailroom and find out, what's going on with shipping to the United Arab Emirates. We have a guy named Jonathan that is working our Roy Masters, my father, Roy Masters. What is that one called? The social media. There's Facebook, and then there's, what's the third one? Come on.
Oh. The thing.
The thing, the thing. What's it called? Oh, dear.
See, when you say you don't know, Instagram.
There you go. This is when you start, you're getting old when you can't remember something like that.
That's why you're supposed to have two people all the time.
Yeah, it takes, just
Two
for
brains.
us to run our household, it takes both of our heads. So we are actually latched together by rope around the ankle. So we can't get too far away from each other because if you forget what toilet paper is and how to use it, you're in trouble. But the other one will help. That's old age for you people. Anyway, so we do reach the whole world. We've been getting all kinds of interesting worldwide interaction because of what Jonathan has been doing with our Instagram page, which is posting all kinds of little short videos. And it's Roy Masters' Instagram page, all kinds of great short videos. And so we hope that you'll check that out. There's already 100,000 subscribers, and he's been doing it for less than a year.
Wow.
Some of the videos, Jan, have been seen seen 1 million times.
Amazing.
It's like, it's amazing. But young people know how to do that. Young people stuff. Old people, look at old people can blather. That's why I'm sitting here.
One person tending and caring for that in a special way.
It takes,
making it grow.
as they say, it takes a village. So anyway, here we go. So how was your Thanksgiving holiday weekend?
Somebody asking you that?
Somebody is saying for some reason our Rumble stream was unlisted this morning. Fixed. Thank you, Mike Jones. And, listen, it takes a village. A big thanks to Mike Jones for getting us on all these channels and making all this work. And God bless you, Mike Jones. Anyway, so our holiday Thanksgiving was really nice, actually.
It was.
All our kids were together, grandkids.
A couple of our boys from out of town.
Yep, the two younger ones, who one lives to the west and the other one lives to the
north.
To the south
and the
to the
north.
south and the north. There you go. Anyway, we're right in the middle, but when you get your family together, it's a time for healing because sometimes they move away and you don't see them, or maybe they move away and they have kids. And then there's the Cats in the Cradle song, when you coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. Well, sometimes that then is many, many years later.
Thanksgiving.
And and stuff comes out that's been in there, cesspool boiling away for years, and you keep shoving it down, and and it's horribly uncomfortable. But you know what? It's important to deal with these things,
it is.
to say your apologies, to say the things that should have been said. And
things that maybe,
these holidays are good for that.
Yeah, things that maybe couldn't have been said until many years later.
Yep.
And, I said, most people wait till their deathbed to talk about the wounds. And then the person is like, I'm sorry. And then they're gone.
Yeah.
Why not do it now?
Yep.
Why not give people the space to say whatever it is and heal these things now?
What was it? I did a show one time called If Not Now, When?
Mm-hmm.
If not, what was it? There was two parts of it. If not now.
When? If not you, then who?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's right. So, no, that was it.
If not me, yeah.
Yeah. Then who? And if not now, when? And that's really it. Is like we are all waiting for the other to apologize. And the other is waiting for us to apologize. And so it's the north and the south going Zax. Dr. Seuss, and it's ZAX. If you've never seen that cartoon, watch it. you will see how these two cartoon characters come. They're walking along, and one's a north going Zax and one's a south going Zax, and they stop abruptly face to face, and you must get out of the way. I'm on the way and I'm going north, and you must get out of my way. I'm on my way and I'm going south. And they stand there and they build cities around them and freeways all around them, and they just stand there at a complete prideful standstill, and life happens all around them and they get nowhere. And that's how many of us is that? Too many. Most all. It's very sad. Pride goeth before the fall. Anyway, so let's see. It was also my one granddaughter turned 5, little beautiful, gorgeous little Melody, and just the sweetest little thing. It's so fun. It's like, what an opportunity, because when you're young and you have kids, you're so caught up in the bringing up the kids, the making of the money to be able to pay the rent, the bills, to buy the food, stress and the clothes, the stress. And you aren't able to really appreciate your children until they're not children anymore. They're grown up. And then you see how you have damaged them through your excuses of, well, I was busy, I had to pay the bills, and you don't understand what it was like. And then you get to see their children and you're like, oh, I got to protect this beautiful innocence, which you were also supposed to do to your own kids, but you were the one doing the damage to your own kids. But you didn't know better. So what are you going to do? That's why Jesus came to not to judge us.
That's right.
To forgive us. What an awesome thing it is. All right. Once again, Rumble, YouTube, X, and Spaces on X, and on radio stations around the country. We'll be right back. It's Perilous World Radio. Stop that. And start that. Go. All right. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Alan and Jan Masters, FHU.com. So as I said before, if you're looking for the radio show on our YouTube channel or on any of our channels for FHU, we took the radio show off of the YouTube FHU channel so that way we don't jeopardize in case we talk about something or somebody on the show talks about something very controversial, which happens on this show. Well, then they won't take our FHU channel down. If they take the radio show channel down, crap, you can just rename the radio show and keep on going. Start another channel. But anyway, so Rumble, we're on Rumble. It's Perilous World Radio. On YouTube now, Perilous World Radio. On X, the same. And on Spaces for audio only. And on radio stations around the country, thanks to our radio stations and Radio America for distributing this program. These are all things that need to be talked about. Alan and Jan Masters talking about everything from marriage, to rearing children, to business, to politics, to medical things, because with all this stuff going on, you end up talking about everything under the sun. It's a perilous world out there.
Everything under the sun.
This is like a campfire, talking around the campfire. So what do you think, Mac? What do you think about the president? Or what do you think about this guy or that guy or this company or that company?
Campfires are the best. We haven't done that. I mean, I don't know, many years, but sitting around a campfire and just speaking with people, there's just something so great about that.
There's this interesting thing, that's happening right in front of you that's putting off heat and energy, warming the soul. And all of a sudden you feel the urge to be able to just discuss anything you want.
And you know what? I felt a little bit of that last night.
Why? Because you had the fire going in our living room?
You know what's funny? I forgot about the fire. I was sitting in front of the fire, but you were in there, our son was in there, and another person was in there, and you didn't have your phone. It was a miracle of God.
Oh, don't go anywhere without it.
He didn't have his phone, so he was just sitting there listening. And
I purposely didn't have my phone or my glasses.
I knew.
I just was there almost, like.
It was the person. I haven't seen that person since 1980.
Oh, quit it.
No, because I tell you people, the phone is a vortex and it steals all your attention. Even when people are talking, you're like, yeah.
And Einstein talked about it.
Yeah. Well, remember? I'm talking about it right now.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, last night, you didn't have your phone, and our son was there, and we just had conversations. And how many people just miss that? Just even if there's, silence for a minute, that's fine, because then, it just takes time and it flows. But with the phones, we fill every second with another distraction. And it's nice to just let it all go and let the people in the room get your attention rather than the thousands of people grabbing for your attention on that little device.
Well, it's funny, though. I said Einstein predicted this. He says, what I fear is that people will sit in a room together looking at a small device and not interacting with each other. And this was, I don't know, probably in the 60s or early 70s or whenever. I don't know what year he died, but it was later on in his life, way before anything. Maybe it was even before that. Somebody needs to look that up. Kim, maybe you could look that up for us.
GWC Rumble here says, at family dinner, everyone was on the phones at the buffet, wherever they were.
Oh,
It happens all the time, but we just encourage you, set your phones aside and interact with your family, because
we got to tell you something. It was really hard.
Was it hard?
I was laying there and you didn't see me cry, a little tear coming out of my eye, and every now and then. No, I'm joking.
It felt good though, didn't it? To just be present.
It didn't feel like anything. I just chose to just leave my phone and that's he says, look what up. Gee, mini Chris.
I don't know.
Einstein died in early 1955. So to answer Kim's question, Einstein predicted, he says something to the effect of, maybe you could get the quote, what I fear in the future is that people will sit in a room together looking at a small device in their hand, not interacting with each other at all. And so since he died in early 55, listen, I was thinking, well, if he died around the time of Star Trek, there was the, beam me up, Scotty, the little, what do they call that? The transporter, the little, when he'd open it up, the flip phone, which looked like the flip phone, but he died in early 55. Wow. My dad was a big fan of Einstein. So whenever anything Einstein comes up, when it's through social media, whatever, I always take the time to read it and see. And I realize why my dad loved Einstein so much. Einstein was a bit of a wacko, in his personal life, but he had some amazing discoveries about life and the spiritual life. And, a lot of times we have to look at Donald Trump. Here's a guy is there anybody you can even name that has lived a more full and wild and crazy, life of wealth and whatever, been married a number of times and all
in the
this
spotlight anyway.
Yeah, well,
because there are people out there.
Oh, he's so serious. So Kim says, Albert Einstein did not say, I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. This quote is debunked by myth, apparently. You know what? He said something. Here it is. Well, no, that's the same one. It says, I fear the technology will surpass human interaction. I didn't say that. I said they will sit in a room. It says Einstein quote above. Let's see what we see here. I fear the day the technology will surpass human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots. Well, it's
pretty.
Is
that your phone making all that noise?
That's my phone buzzing.
See?
It's supposed
Here
to be
it is
on,
right now, interrupting.
It's supposed to be on silent mode, but it's all right.
Let me put it somewhere.
The point that I'm trying to make here is whether he said it or not, it doesn't matter. We have to find the exact quote. It had something to do with people that were sitting in a room, because I remember that distinctly. Like Blaise Pascal said that all it takes for no, what did he say? He says the whole world. What I said it the other day. Hold on. Now that look, she gave me the look that fried my brain. Everyone,
because you've said the Blaise Pascal thing. Many times.
So many times. It's all it takes. The reason why the world is such a mess is because people can't sit in a room by themselves.
Yeah,
something to that effect. God, you fried my brain. This is how it happens in marriage. It's the evil stink eye. She looked at me with the evil eye, and her brain goes. That's what happens. Oh my God. He says, I cannot get a definitive answer for that quote.
Okay, let's move on.
Nice
move
try,
along now.
Listen, it's the first day after a holiday.
I know.
We can have, I'm still digesting a large chunk of turkey bone. I ate the whole leg and all, just one big gulp, swallowed it. And it's going to take a few days, like a big snake, to digest. I only have 9 seconds left to the break, so I'm just killing time.
I see that. You've
take
murdered
a break.
it.
Oh, she looked at me again. Stop it. We'll take a break. I have to recover. Be right back. Don't look at me through the side eye. She gave me the side eye.
Ready?
Go ahead. All right. Welcome back. Full recovery. All it takes is a little aspirin and I come back to life. Anyway, through the holiday here, the last one, Thanksgiving, I tried to just be quiet and not be the center of attention. Because in my life, with children, if there's a kid that can dance, a little daughter, a little girl, then the family will go, oh, watch Sally dance, or watch, and then that, believe it or not, becomes instilled in the child of watch me dance. And then they go through life and they like being watched dancing or whatever it is. Or if you're funny and you do something funny and all of a sudden, and that was me. I was the funny one. I could burp louder than any of the other brothers. I mean, whatever it was
in your family, all those children, it was a competition for dad's attention.
Of course.
Just like when the dinner got put on the table, it was like swallowed up in 5 seconds because everybody wanted to make sure they got their share. It was the same with dad's attention. And everybody had their gift. Yours was funny and somebody else's was this and that. Vying for dad's attention. Right. Attention is what we want, right?
Yep.
But there is a good attention. And it's really, when kids are growing up, if you don't give them the proper attention, then they feel neglected. I remember just thought came to me of when I was a kid, like my mom and dad loved me. We had 5 kids in the house. I was, I guess, the middle because there were 2 above me and 2 below. And mom working, dad working, babysitter, and feeling kind of like, what's the purpose here? We're just here just to be here?
I was there to entertain.
You probably would have.
Well, I was number 4.
But
I was the little one, and all the big ones, David, Diane, and Michael, wanted me, it was like, get Mikey to do it. Mikey will eat anything. I was that character.
But
and I would do anything.
For me, it was like, where was the meaning to it? I remember thinking, so you grow up, you get married, you have kids, you grow up, you get married, you have kids, but where's the beef? Where's the meaning in it? Because the art of family had been lost. And part of that is the stress of life. You got to make enough money. Mom and dad are working. And that part of that, I believe, is designed to keep people so busy they can't even watch their own kids. So you got to send them to school so they can indoctrinate them.
That's right.
And you just become servants of the state.
It's the Industrial Revolution, yeah.
But I just, there's a lack of conscious attention to bringing up human beings. What did God say? Teach your kids my ways when they're young, and they'll remember them when they get older. Mm-hmm. Nobody teaches their kids anything anymore.
No.
They let the schools teach them, and there's no God in there.
Yeah, they let the schools teach them, or YouTube University, as they call it, if you don't know how to do something.
Well, social media, for sure.
Social media is now the new teacher.
And now look at the girls. Look at all the girls hating their bodies, hating their self, trying to, puff up the lips and do all these things.
I kind of think that's attractive.
No, you don't. All these things to recreate yourself for YouTube or Instagram. We're living in such an amazingly crazy world, all because the art of family has been lost.
Notice how she shuts me down now, you guys?
A couple times this show, huh?
You've been doing that a lot lately.
No, I haven't.
So thanks to Kim, he put up on the screen here, back in the 1600s, distinguished French inventor and what does that say? Physicist. Blaise Pascal wrote, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone.
Yes, you have quoted that many times.
Millions of times. And you know what? So you said to me, where did you go last night? Last night after the little birthday party, which started at 3 and went to 6:30, and it was dark. And my little granddaughter, God bless her, she brings life to my soul. Oh. She comes, I get there, I sit down in an easy chair. She comes and jumps into my lap. All these kids are running around. She jumps into my lap and she's sitting in my lap, curled up like a little, like a little puppy. Soaking up
the rays.
Just,
soaking it up.
And I'm thinking, okay, well, this is cute. This is going to last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes. And she's just sitting there and
she didn't care about the
she's
birthday
lounging
party.
on me.
Yes.
And I kept just soaking it in.
Yeah.
How can you not just soak that in? And then they serve the food and I'm like, okay, let's go. You hungry? She goes, no. And I go, I'm hungry. Let's go.
She was getting fed right there.
She was.
She was getting
I was too, but my stomach was growling. Yeah. But anyway, I'm like, come on, let's go. The food's ready. They got this, that, and the other. Like, what? No. And I'm like, oh, come on, let's get up. And she's like, no, no. And I'm like, this is crazy. All she wants is me.
Attention.
My
loving attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was just so good. But the food, I got tempted. I threw it on the ground and I ran over to the food. No, I'm joking.
Well, our other little granddaughter, Lily.
Yeah.
Lots of kids running around.
4.
At some point, she comes up to me with a little smile. And I couldn't hardly hear what was going on. And I was like, what? And she says, did you know I was going to be here? Like, she knows I look forward to seeing her little face.
It's a beautiful thing.
So she's smiling. Did you know I was going to be here?
Isn't that gorgeous?
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
These are the interactions of heaven.
Yeah. So I was going to tell you, so after the party, it was really fun. It was a little, a 5-year-old party, bunch of 5, 6, and 7s and 8s and 3s and 2s and 1s. Anyway, it was really a sweet thing. But I got home and I was tired. A long week, lots of stuff going on. And I was tired and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go to bed. I'm going to go and I waited till 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And so I went to bed and I turned off all the lights, and then the phone's like, I'm over here. Pick me up, see what's going on. FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So I looked at the phone for a minute and I just set the phone down, and then I just laid there in the pitch black dark. Mm-hmm. And I said, Lord, help me to have greater wisdom, higher thinking, better understanding. Help me to do your work. And I mean, then I just let that sit. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. And I just was quiet, just sat there in the quiet for, I don't know.
You were gone for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe you went to bed.
I was in bed, but I was just laying there, sleeping. Just kind of sitting there with my hands crossed over my chest, kind of going, all right, well, here we are. Here we are with nothing. To the Blaise Pascal thing, sitting in a room by myself in the dark. And then so
giving
when
your attention to him.
Right, to God. So then I thought, my son, I need to go talk to my son. I heard his voice because he wasn't home when I went down.
Right.
Sometimes he doesn't come home till late. So he's visiting from out of town. And here's what I hear, Jan. You'll enjoy this.
Yeah.
You only have tonight.
Really?
In other words, because he's going to be leaving today, right?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah. And then what I've been saying lately,
if not now.
When he whispers, when the light comes on your dashboard that says tire pressure low,
right?
You need an oil change. Well, you have a choice. You can ignore it, or you can listen to it. So the little light came on that says, now is your opportunity. right? And so I got up, I stood up, and I was starting to turn back to reach for my phone. Leave it. And I thought, but my glasses, my spectacles, leave them. I was in my underwear and I thought, can I put on some pants? Yeah, you put on some sweats or something. But I'm telling you, when you become present, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I went out and I could hear my son. He was on the phone talking to this other kid that we raised from the time he was 12 and who lives in Boise, Idaho now. And they're having these long he said he talks to him on the phone sometimes for 4 hours. I said, I've never had a 4-hour conversation in my life with anybody except on the radio. Anyway, I opened the door and he goes, oh, I thought you went to bed. I go, I did, but I'm up. And he goes, all right, I'll be out in a minute. So I just went in and I kind of laid onto the couch, and then here comes the impatient demon. Here comes the impatient, just the same way that God says, now's your time.
Oh, right.
Right? And I don't hear words. It's like the opportunity is now. The door is open. However you want to.
Yes.
Your consciousness, the Holy Spirit is speaking into you, and you just know now's the time. And you go back to reach for something. Leave it, So
you asked for.
Yeah, right.
He was giving you what you asked for.
This is what Jonathan was saying, our son. This is what he was saying. So it's funny because I'm laying there and here comes the other voice. Well, what the hell? How long is he going to talk on that damn phone? Right. Here, I'm sitting here waiting for him. What the hell is he doing?
Right.
What in the, well, I'm going back to bed. See how Satan is doing the same thing, feeding thoughts into the monkey brain, feeding thoughts into the hungry brain that is like, well, I'm the master. The servant should come and serve me. It's like, instead of seeing things from a spiritual point of view, from the light side, which is, I am here to serve God, and we are his children. And this boy who has been put in my care is God's son as well. He's our son. We're part of the same family. We're brothers, really. So anyway, I just laid and I just watched the thoughts. Blaise Pascal, thank you. Roy Masters, thank you. We'll be right back. Stay with us. No, don't touch that one. Yep. There you go. There you go.
Ready?
Yep. All right, welcome back. Jan is at the helm pushing the buttons.
As I always do.
No, you don't. No,
I'm talking about pushing your buttons.
Oh, she's pushing. See, she pushed my button even though I wasn't even watching. Kidding. That's right. That's her job.
So you're going to keep going on this story, I believe.
Well, I don't know. I was just...
Yes, because you know what?
So, yeah.
Okay, so last night, I thought you went to bed. I was playing a card game with another person because, what else are we going to do? And then
what else we gotta do?
And then you got up, and I thought, and you just went and laid on the couch, no phone, no nothing.
Next to the fire.
And I'm, finishing this hand of cards, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go sit in here because you're up. I don't know. I don't want to just sit in here and play cards. So I go sit in there, and I see you're just sitting there with your hands on your chest, laying down. And I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to sit in here too.
You know what? It's funny. I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Oh, right, because you always have something.
Well, no. Well, yeah, it's funny. And I laid there and I was laying there being quiet and then I noticed my fingers started doing
That's
the
what
little
I noticed.
finger.
Yeah.
Like if you watch somebody when they're, when they're saying something or about to say something, or if they're thinking about saying something and you seeing their leg shaking up and down, like they're doing that little up and down thing with their foot and their leg. And you're like, stop it. What are you doing? You want to say to them, stop. What is that fidgeting, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, but here I am. I'm like, my fingers are fidgeting and I'm like,
yeah,
quit that. So I put my hands, down on my lap, and then my fingers started doing their thing again. And I'm like, Knock it off. What is it? It's amazing how the simplest thing, this is why I'm really getting to a really good, simple way of looking why my dad brought this meditation exercise to the world, because everybody is consumed with this, what do you call it? When there's like a spaceship going and there's a extra passenger on there that shouldn't be there. There's a name for that. Again, it takes
stowaway.
Stowaway.
I found it.
Yeah.
Found the word.
It's like an unwanted visitor. And it somehow he's gained control over my mind and my fingers and my leg tapping and, everything at some point, what you eat, what you shove in your mouth and what comes out of your mouth. And it's like a stowaway, an alternate, wow. I'm trying to find the right word. My dad would use certain words, but I'm trying to think, what does it feel like? It's an alien. It's like
alien on board.
Right. But I've heard people that have an arm cut off or a hand cut off or something, and they have what's called alien arm. Like they feel like their arm is still there, but there's nothing there. And if you guys know anybody and never heard of that, it's real. They feel like they can reach out and grab something, but the arm's gone. It's the same kind of a feeling when you feel like you have an alien extremity almost, but it's an internal alien. It's a demon on board. And you're thinking these things and you're impatient and you're angry and you're jealous, and you then become kind of vicious, like revenge, like I'm going to get him for that. What does that mean? What do you mean you're going to get him for that? He's going to pay for making me feel this way. It's like when somebody makes you feel embarrassed. We saw that the other day. Somebody makes you feel embarrassed. It's like, he's going to pay for that one. Yeah. It's like a murderous thing.
Yeah, it is.
But it's an alien thing. It's not, so somebody else says it's called phantom limb syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay. Phantom entity, somebody else says. That's right.
Well, we struggle against not flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. And that's what we feel going on. These, God whispers something, but then the impatience comes. We're like in this world between these two energies vying for us, Well,
anyway, so I was laying there, in the quiet, all this stuff going on. You probably saw me laying there thinking, oh, look at him. He's just laying there peacefully. And you look at your best friend and they're sitting there and you may think, look at how nice and calm. And there's just a swirl of thoughts and things going on.
I felt like there was something going on. I wasn't sure if you were a little mad.
See?
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
It was like
the energy was not
laying there,
entirely.
the fingers kind of going like this. And I thought, well, he's thinking about something, but
I really wasn't.
I was going to say, what's on your mind? But I just thought,
I was so glad you didn't. Actually, you know what? This is so funny because I knew you were going to ask me what's on my mind. Where's my phone? Is it going off over
put
here?
it under.
Okay. Anyway, I was thinking she's going to ask me, and she better not, because she's not going to like what I say.
Oh.
And I didn't even know what I was going to say, but that's that dark thing that is always lurking. It's an omnipresent, always there, looking for the opportunity to, how do I say it? Be injected, like
to steal the moment.
A poison injection of cruelty, meanness, ugliness, whatever it takes to inject the poison that is in me into you, or vice versa. Right? And that is how it is spread. That is how it is spread. By little mean things, by little, what is the word? Man, I'm having a hard time with words today because the words, the meaning of the words is so important. But little cruelties, that's probably the best way to say it. Little cruelties.
Poison darts.
Like crumbs, they're small. And small but mighty, in their evil ways, and they spread, and And I was thinking, I don't want to do that. So I was watching all that just from a point of, I'd already gone to God, said, give me wisdom. He says, all right, get up, go out, be with your family and
no
your
phone,
son.
No glasses.
And it was kind of late. Yeah. And late-ish, it was 9:00. I'm already in bed by 9 usually. Anyway, we'll take a break, and there's another hour, and we'll tell the rest of my wild and crazy weekend story. Hour 2. Okay, welcome back, Alan and Jan Masters. Once again, I have to give it a little bit of housekeeping here. We are on Rumble. We're on radio stations around America. So wherever you're listening to us right now, you can watch a video version of the show on Rumble. Yes, on YouTube, on X. And then there's audio only at Spaces on X. Perilous World Radio. So we're not on the FHU channel anymore, Foundation of Human Understanding, FHU.com. We're not on the YouTube FHU channel because we lost it for like 2 or 3 years. We went against the guidelines of YouTube, and they wouldn't give it back. And then when we got it back, we're like, let's just make a YouTube channel. So if you go to our YouTube channel for Perilous World Radio, subscribe, hit the little thumbs up button, and that way we can see how many people are, how far this is reaching. And somebody sent us a note. I said this at the top of the first hour from the United Arab Emirates. And we've been getting lots of international people that are wanting to buy my dad's books. There's like 25 different versions of different things, everything from finding God in physics, if you're into that kind of stuff, it's very interesting, to how your mind can keep you well, and how to survive your parents, and eat no evil, and the secret power of words, and all kinds of interesting topics. And my son, who came from California to visit, we were out at Tall Timber Ranch, and he saw some of these little pamphlets that my dad used to put out. This one is called Sex, the Substitute Love. So he saw a few of these that caught his eye. He said, he goes, I really enjoy Grandpa's stuff now. He goes, he's 29 years old. He's finally waking up to his spiritual nature, because before it was like, get out, go on. And we all do that. Mm-hmm. And then one day, a little warm wind blows through your soul, and you go, well, there's more to life than this.
Or life kicks your butt and tosses you to the ground, and then you're like, what? Wait, what? What's going on?
Yeah, that too. That usually. And I was actually talking to somebody this morning. I said, our person's son's 44 years old, getting in trouble, doing things, might have to go to jail for, what is it called when you have, he's not on parole, but he's on probation. And so he got in trouble for breaking his probation somehow, and may have to go to jail now. And she says, we have been enabling this with him for just too long. And I said, you know what? Don't, how do I say it? I said, you don't have to stop loving him. What you have to do is start loving him. Because you thought this enabling was love. And it wasn't love. It was, you thought it was love, and it was enabling, and it just kept on giving him a get out of jail free card. So he would go out and he would eventually do it again and again and again. And it's like, a number of times this has happened with this guy. And he's a nice guy, but his parents keep on enabling this activity. And I said, tell him, say, you know what? This time we can't give you the get out of jail free card. We love you, but we've been enabling you. I said, you need to just tell him exactly what you're realizing right now.
You can't do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different outcome. Result.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. I thought, man, all of us do that in the guise of saying, I love my child, so that's why I keep helping him. He can't help himself. Oh, it's my fault. And we have guilt and all that. And so we keep enabling him. And to Jan's point, sometimes you got to let life kick their ass. That's what they need.
That's the lesson they need.
It's a good ass whooping. And
they do it to themselves.
That's right. I even said to one of my boys, I said, something about, I'm just going to get out of your way and let you kick your own butt, because that's what's really going on. By your own choices, you suffer. And if people keep you from suffering, then you're never going to learn. You're going to blame the world. And at some point when you're sitting there in a jail cell or wherever it is, and you go, this is my fault because of my choices. Why am I such a stupid idiot? And you can't blame your parents for loving you and bailing you out. You got to blame yourself for returning like a dog to your own vomit. What are you going to read there?
Well, we were talking about this little thing last night where you got quiet and said a little prayer, because previous to that, you had a little communication with your son, and some old wounds came out. And,
it's always going to happen.
You know, and so I think you were reflecting on that. And
sure.
Of course, some of it was, Dad, you weren't present for me. You know, you were working a lot, and I didn't get, some attention from you or whatever it was. And then we're talking about our grandkids, right? And my daughter comes over and he goes, Mom, you need to come watch Isaac, because he's not going to do this till you're watching.
This is the 2-year-old.
Yeah. He wants you to watch him do this on this little hanging bar thing, right? They want your attention.
Yeah.
They want you to look at them, right?
Yeah.
Now, in the Old Testament, the Lord said to Moses, tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you, upon you, and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. May he look at you.
Right.
May you be seen by him, right?
Yeah.
And that's what, as children, they need that loving gaze. Yes, you can correct them, but there's still a loving attention that we all crave, ultimately from the Creator, but we as families are supposed to be doing that for each other. And if a child gets lost and just doesn't feel seen, then that creates a certain emptiness, which we all go through, different stages of that. But it all comes down to when you finally realize the Lord does see you and actually made the greatest sacrifice for you. And when you personalize that and realize the depth of love that God has for you, that Jesus has for you, your heart starts to turn toward them and be filled, because you are seen and loved.
And I'll tell you something, even with animals, and it's interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever done the test of looking at a dog that wants attention. You just look at them. And they want to be rubbed and touched, right? And they come over to you and they're like shaking their tail and their head's shaking and they're looking at you, and you just look at them. You just look and maybe smile and talk to them. Maybe just talk to them. Hello, how you doing today? It's kind of funny. They don't know what to do with it. They're like, well, I know this is good, but he's not, rubbing my back. He's not touching me. Why? What's going on? It's the same with children. You can sit and stare at them. But if you don't kind of complete the action, there's something to the touch as well.
Very true.
So there's something missing. So I go out there and then if you, another fun test for me was I went out to my cows, and here's a 1,000-pound cow, maybe 1,200 pounds, or the 2,000-pound bull. Who I have a nice bull, which I don't take my eye off him, but he's been a very nice bull for 5 years, whatever I've owned him now. And he'll look at me through those big, giant brown eyes. He'll look at me and I'll look right back at him and I'll talk to him a little bit. You going to be a good boy today? Yeah. What do you think? And he's like looking at me and I'm looking at him. And there's an interesting energy just from the gaze.
True. Very true.
So I have this one cow that kind of likes me. And so I described a little doggy, kind of just shaking their tail and shaking, but I have a cow that is at least 1,200 pounds, and she may be 1,400 right now because she's pregnant. She likes me because I scratch her back where she can't reach. So she came over yesterday. She came over to the fence, and she comes over and she looks at me and she goes, and she's sniffing, and I just kind of looked at her and I go, hello, number 57. Hello. Because you don't name them because one day you may eat them. Point is, got an ear tag says number 57. I didn't touch her. And she did the same thing. She rubbed up against the fence like, come on, I need an itch.
Pavlovian conditioning here.
Well, no, it's funny, but there's a communication that you have that is incomplete without touch somehow. Mm-hmm. And God touches our soul. We'll be right back. Alan and Jan Masters talking about, how does God touch you? He touches your soul. There is a completeness. There's a completeness. And it's funny because our physical bodies, there's our physical body. Then there's the spiritual us, the soul that is really, I mean, it is somehow intertwined with this physical body. But when God touches your soul with his word, it's more alive than if I grab your arm and shake you or something. That's just a physical thing. But when God touches you, it's like, they say a man can move a mountain, right? Mm-hmm. You feel that the mountain is nothing in comparison to what just touched you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm describing this all right, but there is, the guy says Heinz 57 for my cow. Mm-hmm. There is something that is greater by a long shot that comes from the Father in heaven, that touches your soul, that is like a mustard seed, that is a strength that once it grows inside of you, it is.
It's like a giant oak tree.
It's just, how do you even describe it? It's otherworldly. It's not of this world. And I think this is why Satan knows that power. The demons of the world, they know that power.
And to keep you distracted is the key. To keep you from plugging in to that giant energy.
You know what they are? It's like, those little marshmallows? Mm-hmm. These little dark things, these little demons and these little underworld dark things of this universe here, they're like marshmallows next to a giant bonfire. They just melt. They can't even get close to it.
The thing is, it's the spirit that God speaks to you with. So if they can keep you wrapped up in your flesh 24/7, you'll miss it and you won't go there. And that was the little piece of the puzzle that your dad was sharing with the world is, go get quiet. You'll get a touch from the spirit. You just have to pull back a little from all the noise of the world and your mind.
No, you're right.
And that's where the Father will speak with you.
That's the meditation exercise. That is the importance of the meditation, is that you actually realize you have this greater understanding, a more spiritual understanding of all that is going on inside of that noodle. The swirling flotsam and jetsam, all the trash and garbage of the world that's swirling around inside of your brain is not you. You are a part of it by the world's design. It sucks you in to the swirling mess. When you step back from it, you see it and you go, oh, none of that is me. I'm not any of that. That whole thing that happened, all the things that happened, they happened because I allowed it. I gave permission for that to exist inside of me. I gave it rent free in my head. And now I've got to evict it by simply, and then listen, just like a bad tenant, they don't want to go away. They're going to say, oh, this is my place.
Yeah.
And you just have to be patient.
It takes an order from the judge.
That's right. You just have to be patient and say, all right, well, I get it. I have to wait the standard 30 days. Give notice.
And,
and then wait 30 days.
We think that our life, the life is in our body. This is life, right? But we don't know that true life comes from the Spirit. And when Jesus spoke, and he said things that were shocking, he was always talking about the Spirit, and that's why nobody got it. So I was talking the other day about the disciples came up to him, and he hadn't eaten in a long time. And they said, Master, you need to eat something. You need some food, right? Like a good Jewish mother would do. You need some food. He says, I have food you know nothing about. And they're going, did somebody feed him already? Did somebody bring him some food? And he says, my food is to do the will of the Father and to complete the task he gave me. That's his food. That's what gives him life. Think about that. Not food, but doing the Father's will is what sustained him. That's true life. How did he survive in the desert 40 days and 40 nights without food and water? The Spirit sustained him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you feel like you don't have life in you, it's because you're trying to get it from the physical. You need to go to the Father, connect with the vine, and allow his life to flow through you. That's where life comes from.
Kim says, don't mention food. I'm fasting at the present moment.
Spiritual food, Kim.
And then another one says, your dad told us about the conscious it that told us what isn't it. That's right. So as you become more conscious, truly conscious, not just, oh, I'm awake, don't worry about it, I'm awake, I'm sitting here wide awake. Conscious, there's a difference. Because you can be asleep and still be conscious, believe it or not. In other words, when the dark things come and you're asleep and you wake up and say, not tonight, Satan, because your body may be sleeping and resting, but your consciousness is still awake. It's still alert, as the military would say, eyes up. They say that when somebody hears the enemy, eyes up. And your consciousness is that mechanism, eyes up, and it opens your eyes, your physical eyes, and you're like, what was that? And I've often, every now and then, but often through my life, I'll wake up and I go, what was that? And it would have been a squirrel jumping out of the tree onto the roof. And I hear just the pitter patter. And when you're asleep and you can hear that and discern what that is, and be able to say, all right, that was nothing. It's because
there's a consciousness beyond the sleep.
And if there is an evil presence that is there, you may say, in the name of Jesus Christ, be gone with you. You're not going to get us tonight. We see you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the curtain makes a noise, the curtain rod. Matter of fact, I was in the bathroom this morning. What's in the bathtub? What's that long rod that's in the bathtub? Looks like a piece of wire.
I think that's a drain cleaner.
Oh, okay. So I'm in there in the bathroom brushing my teeth this morning. Oh, dark 30. And all of a sudden, something fell into the bathtub.
Oh, it was sitting right on the edge there, yeah.
But there's nobody in the bathroom but me. Mm-hmm. I stop brushing my teeth. I walk over to the bathtub. I look, and there's this wire in there. And I thought, it's nothing. Mm-hmm. But there's always a little temptation, always something that, makes something happen. Anyway, we'll take a little break. There's more to come. Stay with us. All right. Once again, Alan and Jan Masters, Perilous World Radio, just talking about life, just reflecting on life after the holidays with family and what have you. And boy, I'll tell you what, family will definitely bring you to your knees.
In a good way.
True. Because when you deal with your adult children and you see how you have been part of the cause of the problem, and even though you want to say it's your fault, I was a good mom or a dad or whatever it was, you got to own your stuff.
Yes.
And if you're willing to own your stuff, then that opens a doorway that allows a real relationship.
So true.
So I wanted to also say, because I have to say it often, we're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. Yes, we're on YouTube. You can watch. We're on X. You can watch there. Or you can listen on Spaces on X, which is audio only. And we're also on radio stations around the country. Thanks to all the radio stations. So we're getting out there. Make sure that if whatever form you're listening to it, subscribe so we get some more subscribers. And we appreciate you for doing that. Also, our website, not to forget that, simple 3 letters, F as in Frank, H, U. FHU for Foundation of Human Understanding, FHU.com.
So can I say something about what you were talking about is...
Reiterate, because I already forgot what it was.
Where you were talking about it's important to own your part in something, because so often when we get in a tangle with someone, we can see so clearly the stupid things they're saying or doing.
We can see clearly how stupid they are.
Right. And, somebody may be doing something really wrong to you, right? And then you come out with a low blow, okay? And you think they deserve...
Wasn't me. She's hypothetical. Hypothetical.
You come out with a low blow, right? And then you realize, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. But you want to go, well, you did all this to me, so I could say that, right? But what I realize, the most important thing is to own my part. Even if it was started by them and I did a bad response, I'm going to say, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. That was a low blow. I take that back. I own that part because I want my hands to be clean. I don't want to excuse anything. And if you keep your hands clean, number one, it's good for you. Number two, it removes the temptation for the other person to hate you for what you did, right? And then it leaves open what they did. Now they have to look at what they did.
Right.
And so same with parents and children, own your part. Own your part. If they were hurt or neglected or something, just own it. You're acknowledging that their side is valuable too. Their feelings, their experience is valuable. So it's just important that we don't only peer through our eyes and see what we see without acknowledging our own contribution to the problem.
Well, and when you feel your face getting hot, when you're having a discussion with a loved one and maybe you're a parent and you're having a discussion with one of your children and they're just going, oh, a cat fight is trying its best to happen.
Or they're just gently saying.
Well, usually it's kind of that way. But anyway, and then you feel your face starting to get all hot because you're like, you're suppressing an atomic explosion of words.
Yeah.
Somebody said earlier about Princess Bride, there was, and help me out, you guys, because it was funny and I wanted to say it, but I didn't get to. There was a scene where the guy that has the lisp, guy that has the lisp.
That's a great movie.
Where they have a battle of wills, but it was a battle of wits.
Battle of wits.
That's what it was, the battle of wits. And if you could do this and if you could do that, then I would be the one,
One cup of tea had the poison in it. So then he would say, so I believe you thought this way. So
was that the battle of wits?
Yeah. The poison is in this cup. So he trains it around. Right. And he ends up outsmarting himself because the poison was in both cups.
That's
the guy had made himself immune to it.
But you know what? When I saw that, one of you folks put that up there, the battle of wits.
Yeah.
And when you feel your face getting hot and there's about to be a battle of wits cat fight, no one's going to win. What is the only way to win? Remember the movie Red Dawn?
No,
what was it? It was War Games.
War Games, yeah.
The movie War Games, where the computer played thermonuclear war against itself a whole bunch of times. Kim even knows the name of the poison that was in there. What is that called?
That says
iocane in the poison in the movie. Anyway, the computer plays thermonuclear war back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and you see the explosions happening. And the only way to win at thermonuclear war is to not go into thermonuclear war, not to play the game. So it eventually stops, and it says the only way to win is to not play thermonuclear war. That is exactly when your face is heating up. It's thermonuclear war about to happen, and somebody's going to go out of the house and never come back. And you know when you'll get your next chance? On your deathbed. Or not. You may not even get a next chance. You may die and never see that and never have a chance. Did you bring your brother, sister, son, daughter, neighbor closer to God by what you did in your thermonuclear explosion? No.
So, as this little altercation happened, where some old wounds came out of our son, and it's hard to sit there and listen, right? Because they're only seeing one side. But you know what? If you love your child, you want them to be able to say what it is. You want to deal with it. And it was a very good, long exchange, and a lot of good came out of it. In the end, a lot of good
question about
came out of it. But then, like you said, you were laying on your bed and just saying, well, God, help me to be a better father, a better person. And then so he says, okay, here's your chance.
That's right. Didn't give me anything to go on. Just said,
here's your chance. Go out there. No, don't take your phone. No, don't take, just go.
That's right.
And you know what? When he told Abraham to leave, he didn't say what he was going to do. He just said, you need to leave your familiar surroundings now. When he first called him, and he was living amongst, people that worshiped idols, and he called him out, and he left with his wife, and he just went. He didn't know where he was going, but he just followed him. And every time God guided him, he listened and obeyed, and he was blessed, and he became the beginning of the blessing through whom which Jesus would come and the Jewish people. And it said it was counted unto him as righteousness because he trusted God.
That's really it right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is like you say, well, I put my trust in God. I gave my life to God. And he gives you one simple thing. It's like one word, go.
Yeah. Well, wait. You know,
where am I going, God? Just go or come forth, whatever it might be. But what am I going to do?
It's like, you trust me? Okay, just do that. Do that one little thing. This little thing.
And you're like, but hold on.
But I'm doing this right now.
This is way too simple. You can't just say, come with me.
But that is how simple it is.
Right. That's the thing right there. It's the KISS theory. Keep it simple, stupid. And he does. He keeps it really simple because he knows we're pretty stupid. So
and the more you listen,
get your intellect out of the way.
If you make that move, then he tells you what to do next.
That's right.
And then next, and he doesn't give you 5 steps ahead.
He doesn't even tell you. He reveals it to your heart. It's a different kind of
thing. I don't know how else to say it. But
it's okay, but it's important because, people are like, well, he didn't tell me nothing.
Right.
No, he reveals it to your heart if you have the inclination.
If you're open to it.
To him.
Yes.
If the inclination of your heart is to trust in him, which it mostly is not with all of us. But I will tell you, as you get older and you suffer, or maybe if you just learn to love properly and trust in the Creator, all of a sudden something happens is you start to hear the liar lying. You hear him lying and you're like, go on. It's like this. You are safe in your home, and you're lying in your bed and you're about to go to sleep, and the neighbor's big old Doberman Pinscher starts barking on the other side of the fence in his yard. And when you hear the dog barking, it wakes you up. Here's a couple things that might happen. That damn dog. You start getting angry at it. But what can you do? You can't do anything about that dog, because if you go and try and tell the dog, shut up, dog, it doesn't going to do any good unless you are the dog's master. The dog may not even listen to his master, but more than likely he would. But if you are the dog's master, maybe he would listen to you. So you have a choice. You either become the next door neighbor's dog's master, which you cannot do. You cannot do. Dog's not going to listen to you. And you can make your whole life, you can bend your life around talking to the neighbor, your dog's barking, and I'm gonna call the police, and I'm gonna shoot that dog. I should throw some poison meat over the fence and just rid myself of that dog. Or you can just hear the dog and let it bark. And eventually, maybe put some earplugs in.
You're talking about the way that devil's always telling you what to do.
The devil's always barking and always trying.
Yeah.
He wants to draw you into an alternate life, which is, he wants you to, to fight.
He wants
you to say, shut up.
Your eyes off the path that the Lord has set in front of you.
Yep.
So when God called Abraham and he listened and he left, right? So I'm going to compare last night when God said, okay, here's your chance. Get up and go out there. And you're like, oh, okay. No, don't take your phone. No, don't take your glasses. Just go out there. So you go out there. And very quickly, the impatience starts to come like, well, what'd you send me out here for? There's nothing happening. He's in there talking, right?
Yeah.
So with Abraham, he was promised that even though his wife was barren, he was going to have a son, right? But I don't know how many years, 20 years goes by on? Would you get impatient by that time?
Absolutely.
And go, wait a minute. God's not following through with what he said. So Sarah comes up with a plan and says, well, maybe it wasn't supposed to be a child with me because it was you, he said, would have the son. So you go sleep with my handmaiden and we'll get our son, right? So how often do we try to make God's promises come true for us? Do we try to figure out how to make it happen faster? We'll finish on the other side.
Be right back. Stay with us. Perilous World Radio, Alan and Jan Masters, finishing a very important story about Abraham. And what that story has taught me through my life is that when God makes a promise to you, it is a promise that he does not break. And even if it takes a long time,
that's it.
You must be patient.
How long are you willing to wait?
That's right. And what I've learned in my life is that what I want to happen in hours, days, not even weeks.
Yesterday, now.
It's like, all right, I'll wait and see what happens. A few weeks goes by. It's like, all right, well, that didn't work. Obviously, I'm just a schmuck because I think I can ask God for something. And then he says to me, yes, follow me and I will provide. What I've realized is that it doesn't happen in
your time.
In my time at all, not days. It can. Let me just make sure I make that real clear.
Right. Whenever he can,
but it also can take years, decades.
That's right.
But he's looking for that faithful
trust.
What is the word I'm looking for here? My dad used to call it something. There was a patience, just
endurance,
patient endurance. So I raced in the Baja 500. That's an endurance race. And I remember when I was driving and the guy says, slow down. I'm like, the guy just told me to slow down. Isn't that funny? I'm like, He's like, he reaches over and because we have microphones in our head, in our helmets, and air coming in, and it's like loud, and you got the face shield closed, and you're speaking to each other like a helicopter pilots, and he's like, slow down. He grabbed my arm, slow down. And I'm like, how stupid is he? He's joking. I thought this guy,
want to win.
He's really funny. He's telling me to slow down. I'm like, dude, we're going to win. We're ahead. So I didn't slow down. And he goes, slow down. I'm serious. Slow down. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're in a race. He goes, in order to win the race, you must first finish the race. And you're not going to finish like this. You're going to break the equipment. You're going to roll. We're going to get hurt. Slow down. And so for the next 20 minutes, he explained something that completely changed my whole life.
Lesson for your life.
And that's what we have to realize too, when we're trying to pressure God to give us what we want, is slow down, be patient, preserve the equipment. Because the guy even told me, he says, look, you're going to break something. You're going to break a ball joint. A wheel's going to, come off. You're going to get a flat tire at a high speed. You're going to roll over. We're going to be out of the race. He goes, you've got to take it easy. This is an endurance race, and you're not going to endure the 500 miles. So it's the same way with life. You got to slow down. You got to be patient. You got to preserve the machinery, which is our bodies and our soul. And you have to be patient and have patient endurance with your faith in God, that his word is good. It's always been good. Throughout all of time, it has always been good. And we just want the blueberries when we want them.
That's right.
Like the blueberry girl in
so
Willy Wonka.
So the test is the waiting between the time of the promise and the delivery of the promise. How are you going to live in that time?
That's right.
Are you going to the children of Israel wandering through the desert?
Right. Miracle
after miracle. In between the miracles, it's impatience. We want to go back. Where's this? What's wrong with me? Moses, always, what is that called? When you're just squawking and complaining when things aren't happening the way you want them to.
Yeah.
So
hold on, listen to this.
Yeah.
This is a good one, Kim. Thank you. It says, your dad, Roy, said, always said, salvation is a flowing process, not a magic trick. Is that good?
That's so true.
That is such what a way with words.
Very good. Very
and
well
that's
said.
what people want. They want poof.
That's
there
right.
it is. And a little puff of smoke. There's your present. And wow. That's just amazing. Anyway, well, so patient endurance, folks. And then while you're being patient, knowing that God will be a man of his word, so to speak.
His word will never return void.
Right.
Never return void.
While you're being patient, waiting for him to see that your life is being lived by a person of true faith, not a person of fulfilled expectations.
That's it. That's it right there.
God hasn't fulfilled my expectations, or he has fulfilled my expectations. I've told people, I had to go broke in my life when I was in my 30s. And about a decade later, in my 40s, I realized, wow, he's restored everything. And then maybe I was in my 50s, so 20 years goes by, and I go, he restored everything tenfold. And now I'm in my 60s, and it's really 100-fold. What will it be in my 70s? Because God surpasses any capable expectation you may possibly even have.
And that was while you
wasn't even really
totally
a true believer. I mean, I was a believer, but, kind of lukewarm.
Mm-hmm.
But we have no clue how he can fulfill beyond our wildest dreams any expectations we ever may have had. Don't let your expectations be your limit.
And it's not about the outer expectations. It's as simple as your little granddaughter coming and sitting on your lap.
Yeah. Best present I got all year.
And feeling that flow of the love of Grandpa. That's all it is with him. Just sit in his presence and let him fill you.
Yeah. FHU.com, Foundation of Human Understanding. Thanks, you guys, for supporting my father and his teachings and the legacy of Jesus Christ right here on this show. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Okay, kids, that's it. Now we all go back to work, or at least I do. See you next time.